Okay, so for our rake wall details section, this is going to tell the program how we want to frame up our rake walls, right? Essentially, do we want to frame it up in a traditional manner, in which case we frame up a square wall and then frame up a triangular wall that goes on top, right? For both our shed and our gable walls. Or if we want to balloon frame it, meaning we use one stud that goes from our bottom plate to our top plate, right? So whenever you select which walls are your rake walls, it's going to frame it in the manner however you select right here, right? So if you had vaulted ceilings too, it's important, right? You're going to have a beam, like a ridge beam, right? And that ridge beam is going to be held up by a post. So let's say you have a vaulted ceiling and you have a gable, right? And you have a ridge beam. If you want to select what you want to use for that post, you can select it here, right? So you can either use like a PSL post if you want, or if you want to use multiple 2x6s or 2x4s to frame up this post, as in kind of like a stud pack. So let's say, for example, we have a gable wall that is vaulted ceiling, right? And we have a post holding up our ridge beam. Let's say we're going to use 3 2x6s. We would just take numbers of members. We would select 2x6s right here, and the number of members in our post would be 3, right? And that would kind of just tell the program, hey, as long as we have a rake wall, hey, we're gonna have some posts right here, right? We're gonna have 3 2x6 by 16s to hold up our posts. And then if our other rake wall, right, was 25 feet, we selected that. That's gonna double that to 6, right? So that's or if you had a PSL post, right? It would calculate that for PSL posts. But you'd only select one member in your post for a PSL post, right? Because you're only using one PSL post as your post. Whereas you're using, in this previous example, you're using 3 2x6s as your post.